Hi, Siko. So I'm just gonna try to help you of how to create past papers or how to create assessments or whatever for the week 5 and week 10. So I think like the first thing to say about maths is that I think we need to encourage, sorry, I don't know if you want to do for maths or bio, but I downloaded a maths paper. I think we need to encourage students to write a lot of their answers by hand and then scan the work to you. Because that's been one of the big questions that the kids don't seem to understand, is how do we show our workings, and it's quite difficult to do it all on Word. So I think that's an important thing to say. So okay, we'll get to that. So the thing that I use most frequently is this snipping tool. You should have it on your laptop already. It comes standard with Word. Otherwise, standard with Windows. Otherwise, you can just download it. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll have my paper in front of me, my past paper. Obviously, you may have 3 or 4 different past papers that you're working on, and then a blank Word document. I've seen other teachers put the Cambridge logo at the top here. I mean, you can do that if you want to. I don't really bother. So I'll just make that a bit bigger, center, and then bold and underline, and I'll say term 1, week 5, formative assessment maths, or something like that. I don't know. And I noticed with maths there were 3 papers, so maybe we should call this paper 1. I don't know how it all works for you, or in maths or in the different subjects. Okay, cool. So then what you might want to do is copy the instructions. So I would say, let's take that, copy and paste. We're going to change the font to Arial when we're done. And then let's take, we don't need that, but maybe this seems quite important. And we can paste that in there. Okay. Then let's go. I'm not entirely sure if we need to, it's your choice if we need to follow this. Let me just see how this is looking. Okay, so let's take, alright, let's follow the format, why not? So I don't snip the number, okay? So let's say we're going to take number 1, so let's get a new snip, and let's take that, okay? And then I'm going to copy and paste. Okay, I'm just going to Control V. Alright, so obviously here we need to say number 1. It needs to be there, and it should not be bold or underlined, and it should be a bit smaller. Okay, and there's your first question. Alright, then maybe they haven't done this decimal stuff yet. Let's take this one, shall we? I saw something like that in there. Copy, paste, go back, number 2. Again, we don't want that. We want it a bit smaller. Okay. And I'm just going to do one more so that you can see. Let's take this guy. He looks quite important. Make it a bit smaller. Okay. Actually, can it be bigger? Let's go 80%. There we go. New snip. Copy. Paste. That is number 3. Alright. So that's your paper basically. Obviously you're going to need a lot more questions, and then you might just want to put it all into Arial just for the sake of consistency. Alright, so here's your paper. If you want to put, I mean, I can show you what Garrick has. Assessments, test. We can take this if you want to copy. If you want to, you can have that. I don't know. You can have that if you want to. I don't think it's necessary, but you can if you want to. Okay, so you carry on doing that until you've got your full paper. And once you've got your paper and you're happy with it, then you simply say File, Save As, choose your location. And then you go down here, I'm sure you know this, but if you click down here, then there's an option to save it as a PDF. And you click Save. And there it is. Ta-da! Your maths paper. Okay. Now, something to add on to this, I think it's quite important to keep track of what papers you're using. So let me show you what I do. Subjects, IGCSE, no. IGCSE, language. It's too much, yeah. IGCSE, business studies. So next to my scheme of work, I just have a tab about past papers, so that I keep track of which paper, which year, which session, the paper number, and which questions I've used. And that just helps because you'll find as you're developing the maths course, it'll get quite hectic and you won't be able to remember which questions you've used and haven't used. Obviously, there are situations where you can reuse the same question, obviously. And yeah, so it's easy, it's better, in my opinion, to keep track of the papers. And then the last thing to say about assessments is I find that for the week 5, I'm just busy with one here. For week 5, because it is a formative assessment, I like the idea of having a self-assessment workshop as one stage of your assessment and then a submission as the second stage. So, for example, this was a core an English language paper 1. So the stage 1 was a comprehension. So really they can mark that themselves. And as you can see, we've done that in this workshop. Actually, need to change it back to submission phase because I've got a kid who's starting it. So in this workshop, you know, you'll be able to see, if I can just show you the assessment forms, I've given them the mark scheme and they are to assess their own comprehension out of 20. So with the workshop, you then give them a grade. I wonder if I can show you this one quickly. You give them, so here are all the, Amy and Rory and Regan have done this workshop. So they give each other, they assess one another's work. So for example, Rory gave Amy 25 out of 30. I gave Amy 18 out of 30. Rory got 24 out of 30 and he got 8 out of 10 for his assessment. So the self-assessment workshop works really nicely in week 5. So you can do, where am I up to? So you can do one section of the assessment as a self-assessment and one section as a submission. So you still have control over what they're getting. Even in the self-assessment workshops, you still have control over what they're getting. But, excuse me, at the same time, it is more a sense of formative, you know, rather than summative assessment. I don't need to tell you this, you've been a teacher longer than me, but obviously with formative assessment, we're looking at ways for them to see for themselves where they are going wrong, engage with the mark schemes, etc., etc. Whereas in week 10, when it's the summative type of assessment, I've given another formative here. Whenever you're doing a summative type of assessment, that's very much a mark and that's what you've got. Okay, so that's a quick video on assessments, and I hope it was helpful, and please just let me know if you need anything else over the course of the day. Thanks again for all your hard work. Cheers, my friend. Oh.